New year, new you, new year, new me. I'm just like you, you're just like me. What's up? It's your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your friend, but I can't be your son, it's your kinfolk. Will Henry with God's Will Fitness. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and turn the notifications on so you can get all the new content and all the new videos when I post them. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for lending me your ear. And appreciate you for your support. I just came here to motivate, educate, and inspire because the fitness realm goes beyond the physical limitations, right? The fitness realm is a mental thing that we need to tackle, that we need to conceptualize to go to the next level. And the next level is this new year. New year, new you, new year, new me. I'm just like you, you're just like me. We can look back on what happened in 2022. We can look back on what happened in 2021 and look at our failures, look at our successes, and then we can figure out the equation. Then we can figure out throughout that aftermath how to attack 2023, right? What was you not consistent in? What was your limitations? What was your losses? What was your shortcomings? What were your flaws in the years prior? Because if you're going to be successful in this new year, you got to figure out what your downfall was. You got to figure out what your Achilles heel was to be able to move forward, to stand upright, and to walk into your destiny and to walk into success. If you don't know why you didn't do what you needed to do last year, if you don't know why you didn't reach your resolution the year before, then why would 2023 be any different? See, we going into the new year without a game plan. We going into this new year without a strategy, and we need a strategy. We need structure. We need organization. We need a plan of action. That's our path to greatness. That's our GPS right there. That's the mathematics that we need to figure out to find the answer to the equation. Right? Because if you can't reflect, if you can't look back at yourself, if you can't look in the mirror and see what was ugly, if you can't look back in the mirror and appreciate your beauty, if you can't look back in the mirror and see what you need to improve on, how can we get better? Right? How can we elevate? How can we ascend? And it's not just for the year. Right? When you invest in your health, when you invest in your body, you got to understand that's your vehicle through life. When you buy a new car, you're thinking about how long it's going to last throughout the years, how long you're going to go without not having to take it to the shop, how long you're going to be able to go without getting the tires changed, without getting the oil changed, without getting the radiator, the transmission, getting the engine flushed. You got to think about the long-term things when you're thinking about your full-term vehicle, right? Because it can't be just for a year. It shouldn't be just for a year, because if it's just for a year, then you won't get there in this year, right? If you're thinking about the short-term things, then you won't get there and you won't have longevity. Right? When you invest in stocks, when you invest in bonds, you got to have the patience. You got to have the discipline to wait. Even during the downturns, you got to wait for the uprising. When you buy a house, when you invest in real estate, yeah, the market might crash, but you got to be patient. You got to wait for your time to shine. Why can't it be the same when we invest into our bodies? It can't be short term. It has to be a long term mindset. If you're just trying to be cute for this event, if you're just trying to be looking good for a certain occasion, then that occasion is going to be over. And so will your momentum. So will your motivation, and so will your drive. But if you want something to continue, if you want something to be consistent, if you want to have a constant drive, then you got to put your foot on the pedal. Right? And you got to be able to know how to steer the vehicle. You got to be able to know the direction you're going. You got to know when to take a right, when to take a left, when to make a U-turn. It's going to be some dead ends out there. That's a part of life. There are going to be some failures. There are going to be some mistakes. But you have to be more decisive, right? You have to be more intentional. You have to have the right motives. You have to have the right mindset to attack these goals. New year, new you. New year, new me. I'm just like you. You're just like me. I failed before. I failed in 2022. I bit the dust in 2022. I shed tears in 2022. I had my head down in 2022. My back was hurting in 2022. My feet was aching in 2022. My hip flexors was tight in 2022. My quads, my hamstrings was sore in 2022. There were some times I wasn't motivated. There were some times I didn't want to do what I needed to do. There were some times when I put my priorities on the back burner. There were some times where I was being selfish and only thinking about me. In 2022, I learned. 2022 was a lesson. 2022 built me, molded me, shaped me. Now I'm better. Now I'm more smooth. Now I have less debris around the edges. Now I'm in a better situation because 2022 prepared me for 2023. And I can't forget my mistakes. I can't forget those flaws. I can't forget my faults. I can't forget the backtracking I did. I can't forget the wrong things I said. I can't forget my old behavior. The behavior patterns have to teach you something. How you acted, how you responded, how you went about doing your business. The behavior patterns tell a story. It tells about your character. It tells about your integrity. It tells about if you're going to be consistent or not. The behavior patterns won't lie to you, but you can lie to yourself if you overlook them. If you overlook what you've been doing on a consistent basis, then you can't really self-reflect. Then you really can't dig within. New year, new you. New year, new me. I'm just like you. You're just like me. I'm trying to find ways to get better. I'm trying to think of new ideas. I'm trying to be more innovative. I'm trying to be more involved in the community, more involved with family. I'm trying to be more aware of my surroundings, more aware of people's feelings. I'm trying to be emotional intelligent. I'm trying to educate. I'm trying to be a little bit more book smart. I'm trying to do the research, but are you going to do it too? Will you be with me? Will we be locked in arms? Will we be walking side to side through 2023? Because I'm just like you, you're just like me. I have my beer, right? I have my bad foods, right? I have my times of laziness. I have attitudes, right? I have a foul mouth. I have things about me that I'm not fond of. I have flaws within me that are hard for me to accept, but I'm going to accept them. I have some things I need to change, but let me transform. I have some things that haven't been addressed. Well, let me send that letter. Let me write down the actual location. Because things are going to turn around. Right? We talking about the 180, not the 360. If y'all don't know the math, if y'all don't know the degrees, right? But 2023, it's all about you. It's all about me. And not in no selfish way, in a self-love way, a self-care way, a way we're going to be able to take care of ourselves. We're going to be able to pass down this knowledge of wealth to our families. We're going to be able to pass down this health to our children. We're going to be able to share wisdom with our co-workers. We're going to be able to share knowledge with our teammates. We're going to be able to think before we do things. We're going to be able to analyze the consequences before we act. Before we put that sweet Debbie cake in our mouth, we're going to think about the calories. Before we reach failure on that bench press, we're going to think about the muscle growth. Before we go into the gym, we're going to think about the cardio equipment. How we're going to be able to burn fat. How we're going to be able to burn calories. Right? The gyms are packed. We're going to think about ways when the equipment is used and utilized. We're going to think about other ways we can be active. We think about other ways we can adjust. We're going to think about other ways we can work out and get the pump. We can work out and get the sweat. We can work out and have a smile on our face. We're going to be able to adjust. We're going to be able to maneuver. We're going to be able to modify. When somebody's on that equipment, they're going to be packed. They're going to be in our way. And hopefully they stay. Hopefully the gym stay packed. Right? Because Lord knows we need it. Hopefully the area stays crowded. Because Lord knows you need to get fit. Lord knows this needs to be the year you make a change for the better. Lord knows that you could have a testimony in 3 months. Lord knows, but will you know? Will you find out? Will you gain the perspective that you need in 2023? This is God's will. Fitness. How?